New Orleans has 55 museums, and I'm visiting and ranking all of them. Started out strong with the Museum of the Southern Jewish Experience. It's over down by Harmony Circle, and I honestly really enjoyed this museum. It was a $15 entry, which I think was more than worth it for what you get. It was beautifully curated, you were able to learn a lot of cool stories. I really enjoyed how interactive a lot of the exhibits were. My inner child was really enjoying packing this suitcase with various blocks. I was also able to learn really cool stories like how peddlers would travel around and there was really only bacon to eat in most of the places, so they would carry boiled eggs to eat. They had a Victorian crazy quilt made by a Jewish community. There were so many things here that I think really were just incredible artifacts that I think I would never have had the opportunity to see if I hadn't decided to go out and check everything out. I honestly felt like I left learning a lot of things and was really impressed by the museum's brave attempts to cover things, regardless of whether or not it made the community come into a good or bad light. They never shied away from controversial topics, and compared to a lot of other museums I've seen dedicated to specific immigrant groups, I found this museum to be very vulnerable and raw, talking about all the emotions that really came up with it. It was honestly really amazing to understand just how many things happen in the South because of Jewish Americans coming here and doing things. Also, check out Tiggle Bitty RBG over here. I really appreciate Mardi Gras culture so much. I would absolutely come back to this museum again, and I would recommend it to any visitor in New Orleans. There was just so much to see, so much to do. It set out to create a very specific vision of what it means to be both Southern and Jewish, and I think it achieved it quite successfully. They had a specific exhibit upstairs, which was on postcards, pointing out various locations across the South, including places that I used to live. And they had these wonderful little microscopes here, so I was able to live out my whole Nancy Drew fantasy. I think the museum is something that if you are Jewish especially, which I am not, or if you need something fun and extra to do, I give this museum an 8 out of 10. It could have used a few more audio elements. I think if there was more music playing in the museum, I would have preferred it that way. But honestly, I thought the museum was fabulous. I only gave it an 8 because I feel like no one will respect me if I'm not super critical.